Good morning, everyone. Daily Bible reading. I'm going to read today from Leviticus chapter 20. Leviticus chapter 20, it's part of the ceremonial law and the national law of Israel. So we are not obliged to keep it in the way that we are obliged to keep the Ten Commandments, for example, or the moral law. But it does contain things which we can use as principles. For example, it talks about how dreadful the worship of Moloch is. Now, Moloch was a Canaanite deity. It was obviously made up out of the heads of the people. It's also described as worship of devils, worship of various false gods. So, a devilish worship which the people had devised. And Moloch, the worship of Moloch involved the sacrifice of infants by slinging them into a fire. The archaeologists suggest, the historians suggest, that there may have been a sort of idol with outstretched arms wide enough to drop a child through. The parents or the owners of the child would bring it, set it in the outstretched arms of Moloch over a fire, and it would fall into the fire and die a hideous death. Now, obviously this is wrong on a number of levels, but it has relevance to us in that it speaks of the appalling crime of killing children, which is sadly relevant in our country today regarding the dreadful evil of abortion. It also talks about the wickedness of sacrificing human beings, which we should, I think, all of us understand. The wickedness of worshipping false gods. It talks about a lot of other stuff about the wrongness of being involved in the occult, things, familiar spirits, wizards, witches, how wrong it is to dabble in the occult, because you are both trespassing on territory that only belongs to God and dealing with demons and devils, which is exceptionally wrong. And even when you aren't dealing with demons and devils, even whenever it's just in your own head, you are intending to do wrong things. So people who dabble in the occult, even though quite often in our world and in our society and in our country, the devil feels it more worthwhile to just ignore them and allow them to get on with their wickedness on their own, so there aren't contacts with familiar spirits. At the same time, they're doing things that are very wrong because they are intending to be wicked, and the intent is in many ways the same as the deed. It talks about sexual morality. It talks about degrees of consanguinity, who people should be allowed to marry and in what circumstances. It talks about homosexuality and how wrong that is, bestiality and how wrong that is, and a variety of other things which were intended to allow the children of Israel to obey God's moral commands, to allow them to separate themselves very clearly from the people around them, in particular from the wicked behaviour of the people around them, and things that they should do in order to preserve their covenant community. Ancient Israel was a covenant community in the way that no nation today can be or could be. So this was the community of God's people as a nation, which had been given particular laws in order to divide it clearly from the wicked people around it. Leviticus chapter 20, this is God's word. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Again thou shalt say to the children of Israel, Whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Moloch, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he hath given of his seed unto Moloch, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man when he giveth of his seed unto Moloch, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that go a whoring after him, to commit whoredom with Moloch from among their people. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards to go whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Sanctify yourselves therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your God. And ye shall keep my statutes and do them, I am the Lord which sanctify you. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He hath cursed his father or his mother, and his blood shall be upon him. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbour's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. And the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness. He shall bear his iniquity. And if a man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he hath discovered her fountain, and she hath uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, nor of thy father's sister, for he uncovereth his near skin. They shall bear their iniquity. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he hath uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless. And if a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He hath uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, which hath separated you from other people. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean, and ye shall not make your souls abominable by beast, or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creepeth upon the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. And ye shall be holy unto me. For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. A man also or woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones. Their blood shall be upon them.